Let's jump over to Brussels now and chat with Jeanna Smialek. She's the Brussels bureau chief for the New York Times and has the international reaction for us. Good morning to you, Jeanna. I know that in your article from yesterday, you described the EU response to these tariffs as both a handshake and a punch. Explain to our viewers what you mean by that.
So the EU is really taking a two-pronged approach here, where they are trying to offer deals and potential wins to the Trump administration that might make them more willing to come to the table and negotiate. But at the same time, they are threatening to, and as of today, voting to go through with a retaliation as well. And so they are both offering to drop tariffs on things like cars and other industrial products all the way to zero, but they are simultaneously talking about slapping tariffs on a range of agricultural and manufactured products coming from the US in the event the negotiations are not forthcoming.
And ironically, it may push the EU and China to negotiate with each other, with the US implementing these tariffs. We know that, as we've just mentioned, China's hit the hardest with a 104% cumulative tariff on goods into the US. So how is it calibrating between retaliation and negotiation?
We have certainly seen China talking about trying to sort of draw closer to other trading partners as this trade war sort of shapes up. I think the real question is from the European Union's perspective, whether that looks like a good deal. What we're hearing here is a lot of big concerns about cheap products from China really flooding this market, much like what you just heard of with the Iowa farmer who was speaking. I think there's a real concern that when China doesn't have some more to sell its products, it's just going to dump them on the rest of the global market. And so there is a risk that this doesn't actually help trade relationships between Europe and China, but rather exacerbates them. And I think we're just waiting to see how that all plays out.
Let's hear more from President Trump speaking yesterday. He made the point that his administration is working on tailored deals with trading partners. Let's play that for our viewers.
And we're doing very well in making, I call them tailored deals, not off the rack. These are tailored, highly tailored deals. Right now, Japan is flying here to make a deal. South Korea is flying here to make a deal, and others are flying here.
What I'm wondering is China, in some instances, may be waiting until there's a post-Trump presidency to have kind of cemented changes. Is this really the way to negotiate, considering Trump will only be president for 4 years?
4 years is a long time to suffer through 104% tariffs. You know, these are pretty dramatic levies that we're talking about. I do think it's interesting, though, because if you read, the commentary that we're publishing in the New York Times, if you talk to people who are familiar with China and who have spent a lot of time watching it, what they'll tell you very consistently is China's not likely to just easily back down from this. They're talking a lot about how they have tools to fight a trade war, how they are willing to endure some pain. And so I do think that there's a real challenge that it does seem like neither side in this negotiation is particularly willing to blink at this moment. And so I think it's going to be a really, really challenging moment for the global economy and an interesting one for all of us to watch.
Yeah, there's a sentiment that there will be long-term impact from this moment. Jeanna Smialek, great to chat with you, joining us from Brussels.